Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to come back with a video. After my last video a week ago, Saturday, I made the video in my driveway for the natural light on my trolley layout. Well, after I put that layout or video of the layout out, I was asked how I made my overhead wire for the trolley. Just a quick disclaimer, if you're a rivet counter, you might want to come up with a different way. This is a pretty generic way that I did this, but it served the purpose that I was trying to achieve. I'm going to go through pretty quickly what I did. I was going to solder, but I thought I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show you everything leading up to it except the soldering. You can figure that out. But I have a small diorama that I use in a contest. I'm going to show you that, talk through a little bit of that, show you how I came up with the method of making the overhead wire. When I started this video, I was just going through my head, how am I going to do this? Okay, so bear with me. I hope it's informative. I hope this served the purpose for the request. And just stand by for a second. I'm going to go through this. Okay, so this is a little model that I made a while back for a contest. And I basically used the same trolleys that I use on my little layout and the wiring for the, basically to appear to be overhead feed for the trolley, okay? So here's how I did it. I went to the hobby shop. Let me get this out of the way. I went to the hobby shop and I picked up the wires that I used. Now, when I first started doing this, and I'm sorry I cannot remember the name of the manufacturer, but this particular type, sort of steel wires. So when I made the other side, the residential side, I could not find this stuff. I had to use this. It's kind of brass or almost copper looking. So I was thinking through my head, from what I remember seeing trolleys running in Philadelphia, the wires had to be high enough so that a truck running down the street doesn't connect with the wires. And just off the top of my head, looking at this thing, I came up with 20 to 25 feet. Now, using a N-scale gauge, it's like 25 feet right there. And this is pretty close. It's fairly close. So here's how I did it. Get a piece of wire. I'm just going to cut this anywhere. I cut my wire. That's the piece I'm going to use right here. I used my gauge and I put it up against my square, okay? It's just how I did it. So 25 feet on this is rated at 2 inches, okay? So I went 2 inches. I took my small pair of channel locks and I gripped it right there. 2 inches. Like I said, it's a very generic way I did this. And I just took my fingers and bent it over. That's how I did that. Very simple. And then you have to think about the width of your street, okay? So back to this model. Inches. That is about, that's 4 inches. So you just measure 4 inches and you bend it again. And of course you want the same height on the other side. Now what I did, because I wanted to make sure this thing didn't get knocked around, I would drill a small hole. So one of the legs is a little bit longer, maybe 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch longer. And I pushed it down, drilled a hole and I pushed it down into bench work. Once I got that set, then I just tapped a little glue on the other side to hold it in place. Now I got a little bit ahead of myself, okay? So once you get both your pieces bent, it will look something like this, all right? So I'm gonna use this piece here to hold it up. Get it down on there like that. Empty my hand so I can move. And then you take your wire and put it down the center. Like that. Get you some flux on your tip of your soldering iron, or actually flux on here. Melt your solder and just tap it and solder it. That's basically what I did. Again, this is extremely generic. You know, I know we have a lot of rivet counters. There's certain things I'm pretty anal about, but on this, I knew what I wanted to do, and that's how I did it. Another way you can do it, and I experimented with this, so don't be beating me up about my ugly soldering right there. Because as I remember in Philadelphia watching the Trolleys, they had their separate pole. They were not connected to the telephone poles, wooden poles. They were separate metal. So, you know, you could do something like this. You measure your height that you wanted, a slightly bigger rod than the one actually crossing the street that your power line's on, and just solder up something like that. But on mine, as you can see, what I did is I took these, I have a bunch of these telephone poles, and I just glued them to this side, the side closest to where the public will be looking at them. And these are just plastic pieces of plastic that I put on there. Now these were white. So now at this point, what I did is I painted these black, and the actual wires that I was using were looking kind of rough with the solder on them and things like that. So I just took black paint and painted them. And I thought it actually made them look better. They appeared better through cameras and just standing back looking at it. But again, that's all I did. It's a very simple way to do it. Bend it. One side just slightly longer than the other. Bury it down in your bench work and paint it. You want to make sure that you solder underneath. You're just trying to give the effect of an actual working line. This is in scale. If it's HO, you can probably do something different to where it looks like it's closer to it. Or if you are one of those that are running and actually pulling your power from above, you definitely want to do something different than this. I hope that's clear as mud and gives the person who requested this the information that he needed. Again, I hope that was helpful. Give you the information you need if you're going to do something like that. Before I sign off, I want to let everyone know who follows me. First of all, I really appreciate you guys following me, guys and gals who follow my channel. It's greatly appreciated. I really like all of the comments that you give about what I'm doing here. I'm going to be off of here for a while. Excuse me. I am going to, like I said, today's November 9th. Tomorrow is November 10th. I'm going in for another procedure on my knee that's been giving me all the problems. So I will not be on my channel for a little while, for as long as it takes me to recover from that procedure. I won't be putting out any content. I wanted to let you guys know, so in case you're looking for me, that's what's going on. I look for a successful surgery. If you like, I'm always soliciting your prayers. Thanks for following my channel again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until I get back, you guys, in case I'm not back before Christmas, have a happy Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas. See you.